So we keep it going and get ready for the next segment here on both sides of the story, Poro 106. And we also see what looks like a feature that was done on Bob Art's TV channel, Reggae Prime Minister Ras Asta Black. He's very active online, very active online. And we have some follow-ups to take care of as well. And we look forward to following those up. We know, for example, that Nicola in central Jamaica is tuned in. Anthony out of Montego Bay is also on board. And Stafford Grant has become a frequent listener. And so too Steve MacDonald, now a regular. We appreciate them all for their contributions on the program here on both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM. From across the pond in London, who is this, Keith Brown? Right, we need to take a break. Let's take the break and come back. Franklin MacDonald directing our attention to the Morant Bay Rebellion of 1865. Thank you very much. We have homework there already. In the meantime, we're listening out for and looking forward to having your messages and your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. So we're taking your calls and your messages here on both sides of the story, right here on Power 106 FM. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5 and 876-365-3346. Quite a few numbers. And we encourage you to get involved and share your thoughts, your ideas, your comments, your issues, your concerns, happenings at home and abroad. Thank you for those who have messaged us already. Let's get some more coming in. Thank you very much. As we continue with both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. And keep those calls coming in. We have been informed as well that it's the anniversary of the famous meteorite fall of 7th November 1492. It is said to be the oldest precisely dated meteorite. We have a museum and scientific collections, which we're told we can check the dates based on the link that Mr. MacDonald has shared with us. Thank you very much. And this one should be fascinating. World Economic Forum, the top 10 emerging technologies of 2024. And the top 10, it's taking a bit to load. The top 10 emerging technologies report is a vital source of strategic intelligence. And it's going to, you can Google it, it's worth reading. But we perhaps will not be able to read it here and now. So you can Google top 10 emerging technologies of 2024. Top 10 emerging technologies of 2024. And this is outlined in different ways. And it's worth reading. Definitely worth reading. When we get that opportunity, we will do just that. But in the meantime, thank you very much for sharing that reminder with respect to the top 10 emerging technologies of 2024. Let's see if we can get that list. There's a list which we're trying to bring forth, and that will give us a bit of a summary. Immersive technology for the built world. Carbon capturing microbes. It's heavy stuff. Heavy stuff. But with a little time, you can go through the pages and learn about these technologies. And we look forward to putting in some reading in that regard. So it's the top 10 emerging technologies of 2024. So we continue with more of your messages and your calls. 876-922-4112-5, and the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. In the meantime, let's go to the phone lines and take some calls. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Hello. Good afternoon. I'm sorry, just a moment. We're not hearing you clearly. You sound distant. So let's go. Hello. I don't know. Let me see if I can change something here, because your sound is cloudy. We want to make sure we're hearing you, so we'll make an adjustment. This is both sides of the story, Power 106 FM, because we want to ensure that we are true so that we can respond accordingly. All right. Hello? Remind us of the particular location, please. After the break. After the break. One moment, please. That's where I save my money in the bank. Come on, buy a little house. Save it up in society. You have to be smart. You always save. So, what if the bank crash? Well, that's where JDIC comes in. Look at this. With the JDIC deposit insurance scheme, once you save your money in a commercial bank, merchant bank, or building society, your deposit is covered up to a maximum of $1.2 million per depositor per financial institution if the institution fails. All the information that you need is available at jdic.org, and you can follow their social media platform
for more information. Calling all merchants, calling all merchants. Boost your pre-Christmas sales. Be a part of a Black Friday frenzy. Enjoy your special discount to promote your business across TV, radio, press, and online, along with exclusive store branding. Sign up now. Call our marketing department at 876-926-1100. Jamaica's biggest shopping event runs Thursday 8 to Saturday, November 30th. The event Jamaica is presented by the RGR Dealer Communications Group in partnership with Marketing.
Hi. Thanks for holding here on both sides of the story. Paro 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. And thanks to the listener who's on the line right now. Thanks for your patience. Please continue. What office? Okay. What's I would like to think both parties are, we expect more from one than the other. But, oh, well, you shouldn't have a problem proving that then. Mm. And sometimes some of these things are worth challenging, just so that you you test your rights, so to speak. But yeah, they can. Well, they'll tell you that's why they usually say to the clients, please check the documents first. There's that too, that you check your documents before leaving the counter. Uh, All right, sorry about that. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Paro 106 FM, taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5, and the text line the same as the WhatsApp number, 876 365 3346. 876-365-3346. So we continue with more here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. And we continue to welcome your calls and your messages from all over the world. Looking forward to your full participation as usual. And taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5 or 876-365-3346. So keep those calls and messages coming in here on both sides of the story, Horror 106 FM. So the lines are open, and it's over to you to take advantage of that opportunity to air your issues and your concerns here on both sides of the story. So over to you, faithful listeners, home and abroad, and we look forward to your continuing contribution on both sides of the story. Also, got some rain earlier this afternoon, not bad at all. We trust that we are learning to better secure our road network insofar as that is possible. And looking forward to some more of your messages and your comments here on both sides of the story. Coming up at 3:30 this afternoon, it will be your legal corner with U.S. immigration attorney Delia Walker Huntington. Well, that's the information I have up to this point, and that would provide an opportunity for callers in need of that kind of information to get an understanding of the likely happenings on U.S. soil. So we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, though, we look out for your messages and to take your calls with a view to assisting you here on both sides of the story, Power 106. As we keep it going here on the program, and thanking you for your continuing support and listenership here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. Michael from Belle Plaine in Clarendon has messaged us. He says, "Good afternoon, teacher, to you and Power 106 family. Happy Friday. It's raining here in Belle Plaine. Keep safe, teacher." Will do, and keep safe too. Thank you for your message here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. And we look forward to more of your calls, your issues, your concerns, your messages. And the lines remain open to you, our faithful listeners all over the globe. So we look forward to your calling us on those numbers, 876-922-4112 to 5. That's 876-922-4112 to 5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 3346. 876 365 3346. In the meantime, we keep it going here on both sides of the story. Poro 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your feedback and listening out for your messages and your calls here on both sides of the story. Poro 106 FM. There are all kinds of issues of concern. Feel free to share, and we'll be happy to oblige. Nicole is on Facebook. Hello, Nicole Henry. Thank you for checking in, and all the very best. Franklin McDonald is back, and he is having his say as well. And so the messages are still coming in here on both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Coming up at 3:30, a bit of discussion around what happened on election day in general terms, before, during, and after. So that debate rages on, and like any other citizenry, you can well imagine the discourse, the conversations, and the expressions of interest in those matters. After all, at some point, we have reason to pay attention to happenings on US soil, on American soil. So that continues. But we welcome that discussion, which is scheduled to come up at 3:30, I believe. And we'll be happy to listen in and participate. In the meantime, we continue the build up to that interview, that discussion, that conversation, and see how far that goes as we monitor the different perspectives and positions on political matters. There's more after the break.
Attractive developers and small builders contact coast-to-coast group of companies for high-quality concrete products. The time when coast-to-coast group of companies is
Hayes and Alumni Association presents Evening of Excellence 2024, sponsored by Staten Island Street. Quality you can taste. Join us for an extraordinary evening dedicated to celebrating the remarkable achievement and dedication of our exceptional parties at the Golden Dinner and Awards Ceremony, Wednesday, November 13th, starting at 5:30 p.m. at the 18th Town Station. Guest speaker, Honorable Martin Chief OJ, Chairman of the XCB Financial Group. For more information, email Case and Alumni Association 1910@gmail.com.
November is Food Month, and Viva Seasoning advertising specials are ready to give your brand the edge it deserves.
That's it, Ray. Okay, how much did you know? Power 106 FM, the digital sound, and now reaching you in your home. Listen to us on 106.1 to 106.9 at the FM app. You can also listen to us on the Power 106 FM app, which you can download on the Store or the Apple Store. You can tune in on your mobile phones by dialing 621 H281 if you're in the US. And if you're in the UK, you can dial 08060060913. Plus, listen to us on OneSpotMedia.com and the OneSpot Media app. Or log on to ProCashTV.com. Our 106 FM, where all news and entertainment will tell you radio in so many ways. On air and online. Join your favorite nighttime show, Dear Monster, with Reverend Dr. Aaron the Mass, Monday to Thursday from 9 to 10 p.m. In Fort Winston, and have a great discussion with Dear Monster, and we exchange views on a range of subjects. That's Dear Monster with Reverend Dr. Aaron the Mass, Monday to Thursday from 9 to 11 p.m. right here on Power 106 FM, the Power 106 FM app, and broadcastjamaica.com. Join us weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m. for Power Play, Power 106 FM's action program, dedicated to the world of sports. Muy bien, edition of Power Play. Power Play with Flip Williams, focusing on everything sports in Jamaica and around the world. Make sure to tune into Power Play, providing invigorating sports analysis and discussion, weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app. You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 3:15. My God, it's great. So, Shabbat. It's my king. It's my God. In my rest and my rising. So, Shabbat. It's my God when I step out. So, Shabbat. It's my it's my God. It's my God. It's my
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Paro 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and we are getting ready to join a discussion coming out of this week's elections in the United States of America. That discussion should get underway in a few minutes, but it remains to be seen how things will pan out. But for the most part, the trajectory seems quite evident, and it remains to be seen in the final analysis how it all unfolds. And there are different views, different perspectives, different different ideas, different levels of understanding, and it's all been coming together in different ways and being reflecting accordingly, being reflected accordingly. So, in just a few minutes, we will connect with U.S. Immigration Attorney Delia Walker on the subject of U.S. elections. So, curious to find out how it all has been unfolding. So, the Republicans appear to have had a great finish, it seems, and it remains to be seen how the Democrats move from here, considering the weight of the resources and plans that have been made and executed. RN2 CEO says hello and good day. JM Master Songwriter says Miss B. Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Good afternoon. Leonie Rattray, hello to you. Inez Iona Campbell Murray, good afternoon to you as well. Natalie Winter, hello. Thank you very much for those messages. Keep them coming in. I appreciate your listenership and support here on both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM. So we hear we'll still have some form of a celebration here in Jamaica as well. That's my understanding. We wish the organizers all the best. And let's see what comes out of this. But these debates will rage on for a long time to come. quite a few firsts as well. And it remains to be seen how it will all take shape going forward. But so it is. And so, in a matter of a few seconds, we will go straight to the discussion.
Tell us about any illegal guns coming from customs control areas. Call Price at 311. The top other insurance. Without insurance, it's a hackle and go with insurance. The insurance, insurance. The same case here, no need to be guys for one fight, go to the end. Fall out of that's a thing. One go, yes, that.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Paro 106 FM. And would like to say a very special hi and welcome to Akeelia Moore. Good afternoon. And thank you for staying with us on Both Sides of the Story, Paro 106 FM. And we are also going to be connecting with U.S. immigration attorney Dahlia Walker Huntington. Yes. Miss Dahlia, are you there? Hello? Hello? Okay, she's there. Oh, it's not. All right, we'll make an adjustment there. So let's take the break. Hmm? No.
Yeah, somebody's supposed to call? It's a regular caller, you know.
You mean Daily Walker Huntington?
Oh,
No, 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 no,
that's
no,
not today.
no, no.
That's not today. Just call us.
Okay. So, so who is it going to be? Who's going to be talking?
Repeat.
I was just trying to find out who's going to be talking.
Oh, it's just you talking to a caller.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Okay. All right, let's continue with more on both sides of the story. Poro 106 FM. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Good afternoon. I am fine, thanks. How are you? What's on your mind?
Calling to just bring some awareness to and some upcoming events that the Master Public Health cohort of 2024 will be undertaking on the 14th of November, which is the World Diabetes Day, where health benefits. The November is Diabetes Awareness Month,
Mm-hmm.
and as such, the cohort will be undertaking a health fair focused on empowering globally, stepping beyond the diabetes. And this will be done in the underground, the Faculty of Medical Sciences at UA Mona. And we will be starting from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Now, the persons who may not know, diabetes is a leading cause of death in Jamaica, and as such, we want to bring awareness to the population, to the public,
Mm-hmm.
to understand that we can prevent and manage diabetes. Now, for this event, we want persons to expect, come to expect that we'll be having free health checks, we're doing blood sugar, blood pressure, and BMI checks. We're having expert talk. We'll be hearing from leading experts in diabetes prevention management and the complications. We'll be having fitness sessions. So it will be a very fun, interactive, informative session. Fun activities for all ages. We'll be able to engage in interactive activities and games. And of course, we'll be having giveaways. So we don't want person to think that we're just about training alone. It's going to be a fun activity. One of our membership, and I know persons wanting to come and take up the offer. I also have as our MP, Ms. Isha Barnes, who will be giving us that energy, that boost on the day. So we want persons to come out and participate. It's going to be a very empowering event so persons can leave having a greater sense of appreciation as it relates to this chronic disease that is affecting many Jamaicans. And we believe that by doing this event, certainly more persons will become advocates and will be empowering their community as well.
Yes. Yes, indeed. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Mr. Kelly, who is based in the UK, Jamaican, he has been on this subject for some time now, quite detailed. He has an understanding of it, but uh, he's going to be doing. I think he has done a couple of presentations already, so it's quite useful work to be creating a greater level of public awareness. So that's a good thing.
And I hope if persons are also interested in additional information, you also have a Twitter handle that we're Julie 2024 can find it here, as well as if you want to get additional information around the issue of diabetes, you can visit the site ncip.moh.gov.jn, and they can read up about diabetes because it's something that's affecting many of our. We need persons to be screened. That's a very critical area for um, particularly those in public health. You understand that it's a major issue, as I said earlier, affecting many Jamaicans, and we don't want persons to wait until things are severely bad for them to basically be told that it's too far advanced. You want to get them screened and be treated early. We want prevention to be a focus here as well. So certainly more persons will come out better for the population.
You're so right. So how has the subject been received by members of the population you've encountered and engaged in conversations, discussions, etc.?
Well, I believe persons are more receptive now than in the past with the thought of the Jamaica Move initiative trying to promote non-communicable disease. It sensitized persons about non-communicable disease. That is in one of them. Persons are becoming more aware, more health conscious. We see where persons are making the necessary adjustments in diet, general lifestyle practices. Uh, you know, there is a movement that is taking place. We may not see a massive wave, but as each person does his or her part,
Mm-hmm.
we believe that we can curtail this problem. Because it's in our control. But without the information, without the knowledge, the change that we would want to see, we want persons to own the process of self management. It's not just an initiative of the public health sector. It should be my own personal concern. But it does start with the sector in bringing about a certain level of awareness and ensuring that we are on top of our game in terms of the knowledge, the science, what is the and I believe that we are well advanced and doing very well in terms of engaging the population in different spheres to be very much on board with the focus of reducing this problem.
Yeah, there's no doubt that this kind of education is needed. It's a necessity.
Definitely.
Mhm. All right, so give us the matters to remember as we go off from this conversation discussion on the subject matter. When you have gotten to that part, you could just give us the reminders.
Yes. So again, it's November 14th, that's World Diabetes Day. It starts at 9 a.m. We run through to 3 p.m. and we'll be located at the underground at the Faculty of Medical Sciences at UNONA, and we will be having a grand time here together. So if you want to get your feature, please, blood sugar, blood pressure, you name it.
And that's CHECKS, right? Free checks.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that is it.
Okay. Because we don't want anybody turning up and say, where for them money there?
No, no. We want persons not forgotten by, you know, issues related to cost.
Mm,
So
yes.
we want to ensure that keeping with my movement within the strawberry.
And wellness. Mhm. Well, we're happy to make the platform available to you and any other individual who is on the same track and doing the same general outreach that others are doing. Yes. But thank you very good thing.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Anytime. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story. Poro 106. Back in a moment. Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story. Power 106 FM. Ron is on. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Thank you very much, Dervan. Good afternoon to you and your lovely audience.
We reciprocate wholeheartedly.
A lot of stuff. I was asking you, how are you doing today?
I am fine, thanks. How are you?
Wonderful. A bit contemplative, but nonetheless, a lot of things, is happening. We just had the election. We just re-elected. They just re-elected President Donald Trump elect. His second term. It was quite a contentious 4-year campaign. I mean, these people go back to back, from one election and it's been quite fractious, as I'm sure you hear across the media.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had issues about the cognitive ability of the sitting president, Joe Biden,
Mm-hmm.
who many suspected was cognitively impaired, because this, after all, is a gentleman who had brain surgery years ago. He had a very difficult brain surgery. So I was a bit surprised when I saw him put up himself and his party to run as president. So anyway, we had that. And we had the mercurial, quintessential American capitalist New Yorker, Donald Trump, threw his hat in the ring. And there's a reason why I emphasize New Yorker. Because if you're familiar with a lot of those real native New Yorkers, born and bred New Yorkers, especially those wealthy figures in New York, they're very feisty. That has been my experience. I've actually worked with one, a doctor, a lady, by the way, and she was quite something else, bordering on rude. She was in they were so in the billionaire field. There was a woman called Leona Helmsley. She was to wealthy.
I'm wondering. No, another name came into mind.
Yes,
Sherma.
She was a wealthy hotel heiress. She owned a lot of luxury hotels across New York City. And she was one of them who made the famous statement that only poor people pay taxes. It created a storm at the time because she was a very mean employer. She wasn't a very nice lady. But they're quite, the legendary New York City. They are very brass, rude, many will say. And they're very aggressive about money. After all, Donald Trump father was one of these big capitalist landowner, developer type. These people, their business is ruthless. If you've been in the property market aspect of business, you'll learn that they are very ruthless. But it's the American way. So I said all of that to there's nothing particularly unusual about Donald Trump as an American big capitalist who has a lot of power, whether he's in government or not. He's a major landowner, property owner. I think he owns like about properties all over the world, and more. It's up 5,000 because I've seen his place all over the place. He had a big development in Panama, you name it, it's all over, in Ireland, so on and so forth. So there's no question. And people who own that kind of money, and we know very well in Jamaica that the rules don't necessarily get put on them. They don't usually observe the rules. They get breaks. We see it in Jamaica with our big capitalists. And we see it in foreign, the same thing. Now, as it regards to the hot button issue of immigration, one of the things I'm going to say about immigration before I comment on Donald Trump's president-elect position on the matter of immigration, I'm going to say this. Jamaicans, I'm speaking specifically about our people, should not be overly anxious and full of anxiety and so on. That's not a good, and you'd have to panic. That's not a good thing. We want to see more Jamaicans. There are lots of single Jamaicans here, women and men. We want to see them falling in love to get themselves straightened out. So we want to see more falling. So the men going to have to put themselves in a better disposition. A lot of times our men, some of them not really up to the scratch. They're not as polished with their carrying on, drinking and the smoking and the this and the that. You got to get serious. So if you're living in the States, you're out of status, you know what to do. You got to, not panic as long as you don't commit a criminal offense. You don't have to necessarily hide under the bed, but keep a, circumspect profile. And you would do that whether Donald Trump in office or whoever. It's just common sense, and you got to keep out of the, some of the Jamaicans who don't have no paper and have smoke ganja out in the open and all of that stuff, and drink and boisterous and carry on. You can't do that. Use some common sense. But other than that, I would say that what Jamaicans ought to be doing, and you have a tendency not to help each other. You want to exploit each other, right? We need to think of mutual benefits for each other. We look out for each other, take care of each other, don't rip off each other, especially in a foreign country. This is not your country up here. You understand? So we need to be very mindful of that. Another thing, as far as that matter is concerned, we want also the immigration authorities, the immigration practitioners, I'm going to use that word, not to be exploiting our people up here. You're telling them you can't help them and you know you can't help them. And you're taking them money. Because I've seen it happen even in the church. Some old people lost their money. You come into the church and promise the people that you can help them, and you can't help them. And these were Jamaican attorneys. Don't do that. And we want to also see from you same Jamaican attorneys in foreign. Give some pro bono work also. Do some pro bono work also, not just plan to profiteer off our people. We don't mind your benefit and you're working for a living, that's fine. But please, too much of this nonsense. You're telling people that you can't help them and you know you can't help them. And remember, Jamaican people who listening, there are just a couple ways for you to be able to get a status here in the United States. You have to have whether you have a spouse who is a citizen or a legal resident who you are married to. You understand? Or you have a family member which takes a very long time, if you're especially if you're over the age of 18. So you gotta use sense. And if you're offered a work situation, the employer file for you. That's different. And it takes time depending on what qualification you have, skill. So please don't go with no attorneys telling you they can help you, take your money, take your retainer, and they know they can't do anything for you. I hate to see that happen. I'm not putting any aspersion on any particular attorney, but I've seen it. So we need to clean that up. So beyond that, Jamaicans, there are lots of opportunities for immigration to other places. It's not only the US or Canada. There's also opportunity with small money that you can go and open business in Africa. They love our products. What am I talking about? They love the African Jamaican culture. They love the T-shirt, the Rasta paraphernalia.
Hold a moment, please.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for staying with us on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Paro 106 FM. And let's go back to the caller. Thanks for holding. Hello? Are you there? Hello?
Hello?
We're back on the air. Go ahead, please. We're back on the air. Go ahead, please.
On the air, Rebel. Office Dervan? I'm not
Who was on who was on the line waiting?
I'm on easier, but we don't know if that talk next man to go or if they let him go or what.
Yes, we were still talking to someone a while ago.
Yeah, but we don't hear my talk again, so. You want to link him up forward or you can go and proceed.
Hold a moment. Hello? Good afternoon. All right, let's move on then. Let's take another call. But for the previous caller, if he is listening, he is free to call us back. Let's continue. Hello, good afternoon.
Blessed noon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, my honorable, we give thanks now. The spirit of brotherhood amongst ourselves as black people worldwide, you know. You see, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, now that we see Donald Trump win the election, and him say, him going to dismiss LGBT, the gay people then, you know, and take a stand against them, you know. So Prime Minister Andrew Holness say, Jamaica is America's backyard, and he will always support America. So we want to know the stand where he going to take now, he going to stand with America, like when Mr. Man say he always support America. Now that Donald Trump say he going to dismiss gay people, you know. He not stand with them right now, you know. So we want to know Prime Minister Andrew Holness, Kamala Harris have tried all over the world, all the continent, you know, see it? And I tell extra governments to them to legalize LGBT in a them country, you know. And we see Prime Minister Andrew Holness go America also the other day, you know. So we want to know if he must take a stand against gayism in the world now, like how President Trump is against it. And he say he will always support America. They want to know what kind of stand he going to take. Now, so we calling upon him to come tell the nation what kind of stand he going to take. If he going to stand with Donald Trump, who he promise to support America, you know, and get out all the gays them from amongst us, like what Donald are dealing with, you know. What do you think?
How do you plan to do that?
Donald say him not deal with them, you know, in our country, you know. Him not promote it. Like how you see down here the other day, under Biden, them slide the big old flag up at the embassy up at Kingston, and not even Jamaica government couldn't say nothing. The whole of the people them have to stop it. You
Why?
know?
Why?
You know that you have
Why?
a change of government.
Why? Why? Why they have to stop it?
You know, I and I, the street people, the poor and the have not who deal with the gayism in a Jamaica. You know, because we know say biblically it is an abomination. We stand against this, but you know, hear the government to nothing. You know?
Well, you would know though. You would know that there's a thing called foreign soil. Once you get on that,
like, I'm listening.
It's just like you go to the embassy to get a visa. You can't just do whatever you please because it is known as foreign soil.
So anywhere the embassy, like American embassy, is here in Jamaica, it's foreign side for the embassy depend, right?
Yes.
So we're calling upon Prime Minister Andrew Holness now to come address the nation, because I know say Jamaica people now deal with dating from a long time. You know, say so we done. We don't support that, you know. We don't support gayism. So now that America, you know, we pledge the support. I said that now against gays. Take us, we want to know if Jamaica will take the same stand with Trump. Because we see Trump did carry and some Commonwealth leaders, you know, some CARICOM leaders, Caribbean leaders, they invite them up foreign day, you know, for a meeting, you know, all of them. Not all CARICOM leaders in the invite. Some of them, you know, Jamaica was one, you know. So now that Trump come forward and now, and him knowing that the gay thing, we want to know where Jamaica deal with, if them can come out openly and stand up against this abomination, you know, where Biden and Kamala want to push on the world, you know. We want to know that. You know, see it. So we give thanks directly to Marcus Messiah Garvey, differently, who come show us that Africa is to the African, those at home and us abroad, who born out of Africa. You know, see it. You know that Donald Trump say he want to make America great again, you know. So we calling upon all black sons and daughters in America and in Jamaica here in the Western world here, we stand up and make Africa great again, return to its former glory as a proud black independent continent. See, because when you look right throughout the world, I know the whole of them don't want we as black people. See, Sweden, they at 30, I don't know if you see the news, in said, I paid 30 odd, but 1,000 or 100,000, and people must volunteer to left out of them country. Only for European country, I do that. Immigrants. Country, because you know, than send home all black people. All of them we each up in America, and I go on like America for them. Like the brethren just say, America is not for us.
So how is that going to work now? How is that going to work now?
So, what's going to work?
Mm-hmm.
Repatriation, because it's in the pipeline, the state governor, them in Mississippi, it's in the pipeline decades ago. Them vote unanimously. And them say black people come populate up America. And then vote unanimously to send them home, run them out of America. So we don't know why we don't want to left out of America and England. The people them say they want a history white America and Britain. And we did it. After we interest come last, if no interest at all, more than the labor force in this country. See, so we want to know what we are dealing with as black people. America no want to see them around we up there now. All who say them legal up there. Like you hear them say them ban up there. America make sure tell you could have ban up there a million times. As long as you no black, you no come from there. That's why them turn a Jamaican parentage. Like we see them a link up camera while they are Jamaica government. It's about him father come from Jamaica. A campaign. What a judgment.
Him or her?
So when it's time Jamaica get stand now. And them they are boot up Camela. And Donald Trump winner now. So all them stake I like a leaks them a look, likes them a look, free food ticket. When them a come talk about Jamaican parentage and sitting. And them a look help. To them so belly, licky and belly. Jamaica government, that child government. You know see?
So your belly full now?
Honorable? Don't hear you. I don't hear you. I want to answer you uprightly, Repeat.
Come on, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, so we see Sweden and some other country, well, for European country, I don't know the immigrants them know, and Trump said this is one of the biggest migration thing I go on now in England. Black people, they are afraid. And I see it. I'm going to run them out. There's about hundreds of thousands of them up there. Where them America with us in a straight, So them afraid to know because them up. Run them out of America. Jamaica no want to neither. Because Jamaica is in the America, so we better find back Africa. We could have banned a million times Jamaica no free. Because we know if I choose ban, we have said Jamaica free. Who give it Jamaica? We can't land from Africa come in the 15th, 16th century. No brainwash education then give it. And tell about Jamaica free through them institution. Jamaica no, Africa yes. So we could build our faith to return home to Africa, build a continent of our own. Every man work and build his own nation. China work and build China. Europe work and build Europe. India work and build India. So what I'm to we as black people, why we don't want to build our something? Because this nation destroyed, a continent and its people, exploitation and slavery and colonialism. See it, and then mash it up. So we have to take a stand now and stand up for our right in the world. You see me I deal with my brother?
Yeah.
And we never slave no one, We never slave no one, do no one, nothing. We have nothing to shame of. You know, so we must demand our rights and justice were done to I and I as a people. You know, see it. Remember America, England, then lynch you, them pluck out your fingernail, then do we all manner of evil. You know, so we are tell back at these people for. Why we are tell back at these people? And that more I know. Let from Jamaica or anyway in the Caribbean and America, say them going to greener pasture. And go to go spend much 10 years. When them come back, where them say them born then. Not birth, you know, where them born. Because we did birth somewhere before we born in Jamaica through slavery, you know. So them a come back with them born like Jamaica, yeah. Then come back in a old age. Them better have two youth we could have inherit where them go labor for in the coal. Because them come in a couple years, them dead. Them not get to enjoy where them go work for. So it comes in. You see me a deal with the come in. And when they come back, them have fear friend. Frightened. They come back here also.
Hold a moment, please.
Join us weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m. for Power Play. Our 106 FM's flagship program dedicated to the world of sports. Power Play with Cliff Williams, focusing on everything sports in Jamaica and around the world. Make sure to tune in to Power Play, providing invigorating sports analysis and discussion. Weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m. on 106 FM and the Power 106 FM.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Thanks a lot for staying with us on both sides of the story. Power 106 FM. The caller is still holding. Thanks for holding.
Aye. So, my honorable people, so we can see with our eyes, you know, say the white men do want to in them country, you know. So we must find back Africa, you know. And we calling upon them to take out them white subject, all white men, women, and children must come out of the continent, you know, and find back Europe, where them come from, or you know, where them come from, India, where them come from, you know. And we have a history, Black Africa. Because when Margaret Thatcher win her first election, you know, she said she want a history white Britain. Churchill, they said the same thing too. Say want a all white England. You know, we agree with them. You know, so we want a Black Africa. You know, from Cape to Cairo, from Dakar to Djibouti, you know. All 3 states of Africa, we want a Black Africa, a Black continent, you know. So all white women and children must come out of Africa. You know, we not beg them in this judgment. We not beg the white men them to come out. Like how you see we there in the Western world and we have to beg to return home. You know? We have to demand to live out here. You know, see, we not beg the white men to come out of Africa, they don't mean us no good. You know, see, more than the slavery out. From generation to generation, and I plan to put on back the chain for our foot and now, if we not see what go on. You know, we need to take a stock of ourselves.
So you're going to allow that?
Aye, man.
You're going to allow them to put on the chain on your foot?
I really I know. Because Rasta go liberate the people, you know. We are here to liberate the people in a stubborn and rebellious generation, running down destruction and never to seek repentance. You know?
Hello? Call dropped.
I freedom fighter, Gavi and Rastafari children here in Jamaica and the world. Those of us who take side, you know, with Britain and America, like Jamaica government, I always see a beat down decks on Tuesday daytime, who work with King Charles. You know? All of these people, you know, them are just betray of the African nation. Even the Commonwealth, where them call themselves CARICOM, Reparation Council and Jamaica Reparation Council and the church. See the king of Jamaica, the white king, with a slapping on the face. When I run in front of Rasta, go ask for reparation. And him said, they not apologize to no. Not go no pay no reparation money. Yet near say them want to give to CARICOM country, Caribbean country. You know, them so licky, where they are watching, you know. If you not go take money from Judgment Ball England, and then no want pay reparation. When we reach in Africa, in Jamaica here, anyway, you know. Them not recognize we as human until this day, you know. Them say we are slave, them for them poor parents, which is them same one, left we are slave.
Okay.
You know, so them work we out, so them come work we out too.
Well,
Yeah.
if you want
So
to go ahead and allow that to happen to you, then over to you.
Oh,
But you are in a
know,
better position now to defend yourself and protect yourself.
That's why we are so if righteousness is mightier than sin. So if you turn to righteousness, because we don't have no gun, no weapon. You know, see? And we don't have no armed force. You know, see? Because the armed force in Jamaica here is controlled by Britain and Canada, America, and them train them. You see them come down here, what they come have high level meeting and go and train with son and that and send them set up for one another. You know, Ghana 80. And them do that. You know, see? So we need to take a stock of ourselves and stop turn ourselves in a puppet for these nations. Because who me talk about reparation, them serve in a King Charles government. Them serve in a King Charles government.
All right, we hear you loud and clear. We're going to have to move on now.
Yeah, so repatriation is a must. And remember the West are going to perish, you know. Britain and America, alas, Babylon the Great has fallen. All the merchants of the earth, them are going to walk and ball when America and England fall, you know. And the man say a 3/4 of the world are go down with America and England, you know. So make we stand firm in the strength of our master, be loyal, be faithful, and true to the black philosopher Marcus Messiah Garvey, and lift ID's banner for the future, the red, black, and green, and the red, gold, and green banner for the future, you know. Walking in the future, you know, a black continent. See all its black inhabitants, black sons and daughters around the world, you know, a united Africa, black people. See the unification of us as a people once more, my Lord. Give thanks for your patient listening and wrap of attention, world audience. Blessing.
Take care. Let's move on. Both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. And Ron is back. Sorry about the dropping of the call. Not sure what happened there. Okay.
I was giving you an analysis of Donald Trump's president-elect, his action on the immigration issue. Of course, it's a big issue because we have had quite a bit of what people would call uncontrolled immigration. So that is immigration who enter through the border areas without the right requisite, you know. And there was a whole lot of people, as you know, coming in that many felt some of them were of a criminal nature. What I mean by that, we had some of the immigrants, not all of them, particularly from Venezuela, who were allegedly gang members They had lots of public episodes. One allegedly rape and kill a young girl. That trial is supposed to be happening sometime, and quite a number of them. So we have seen that. Plus, there's this issue which Donald Trump used to his advantage of displacement. You're probably aware that there is massive homelessness in America, particularly because you have evictions, because everything has gone up in this country. So what has been happening is that the public sentiment, particularly from the Black communities, because usually when they bring these immigrants, they carry them, go drop them in Black communities. They don't carry them in white communities. So there was a big issue about resources going towards these people who coming in, particularly from Venezuela and Central America and so on, South America, who are now getting these resources. And the African American community said, look at homelessness, look at the sub-condition housing, and all of these issues that are weighing down Black people in America. And they of course, the African Americans will point out to you that they built America. Since it was their slave labor that built America. A lot of people not aware of that. You must, and I want our Jamaicans to be aware of that, because a lot of you are not aware that sometimes you come and try pop style on these people, as if you have some, you have some white uncle in America named Sam, So you need to understand, know your lane, and give the respect to the African Americans when you get into the United States. All right, so that's another matter. So that issue, in my opinion, has been heavily exploited by Donald Trump's campaign. He used that because that's a very hot issue. There is also, I should inform you, Dervan, there is a conundrum that these quote unquote white countries face. What is that conundrum on immigration? Well, this is the situation. They are not having children. Let me repeat. They are not having enough replacement children in these countries. The gentleman before, the Rastafarian gentleman, mentioned Sweden paying $34,000 to people to go back. I don't know if you're aware that during Margaret Thatcher, Prime Minister of Britain at that time, she also had a scheme where she paid immigrants to go back to their country. In fact,
and the UK had a scheme as well, for the Africans.
What's that?
The UK
Yes.
also had a scheme.
Yes, for the African. Yes, because a brethren of mine, his family from Jamaica, they took it and went back to Jamaica. All right. So the conundrum that they face is that there is not enough. There are people not having babies. You understand? They dash with belly a lot up here. They do in all these countries, and they're just not big on children. Also, the cost of living to have a child in foreign is 10 times more difficult because daycare center and all of these things, yada yada yada. It's a big factor. So in places like Canada, all of these places, they have been bringing in immigrants from India, some of the highest skill for the tech, so on and so forth. So immigration is a big profit center for these countries. So in other words, they benefit from immigrant labor. But of course, there's also the sentiment from the citizens who live in those countries are saying, how come you're bringing all of these people? We don't have enough jobs here. We don't have enough resources here. You bring them health care, not here. You divert the little money. So that's a big issue. You understand? So President Trump has exploited that issue to the max to benefit himself. But I'm going to tell you what his real feeling is, in my opinion, and the analysis. So in places like Minnesota, Idaho, those places don't have very many Americans in there. So you have the Haitian immigrants who went up to Springfield, Ohio. You know, those places were like dying. You understand? Then on top of that, the population in these countries have a big, huge drug problem. You have heard of fentanyl.
Yes.
So it's not just the right.
A Jamaican wrote a book on this as well. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Yes. So the people are lick the drugs. You understand? In
Yes.
those areas. So those areas are dying economically.
One moment, please. Let's take the break and come back.
Yes.
Influencing those who serve, especially in the public sector, is vital to Jamaica's progress towards Vision 2030 and beyond. Many people have worked and diligently given sterling service over the years to the benefit of all Jamaicans at home and across the world. Our 106 FM employs its part in showcasing those individuals who serve in building our nation and to create greater public understanding and appreciation of their sacrifice, presents the feature Service Stories. Listen to Service Stories every Wednesday at 4 p.m. during both sides of the story with Dervan right here on Power 106 FM.
Thanks for saying something about dying economically.
Right. So those areas, and this is across the Western world, those places I mentioned, or Springfield, Ohio, Idaho, Minnesota, a lot of these towns across the US, they don't have enough population. And one of the things that they don't tell you, and that's why it's so wicked when you see them fight against our little poor folks in Jamaica having a little child, before the community reach out and help and the government help families in Jamaica. We cry down the people and I want to fool them with contraception and abortion to kill off our offspring. These countries, they want the people to come here because they don't have to give them any benefits and they exploit the labor, right? And they will do the dirtiest jobs. They will do the job and not complain. They will work them to death and they not complain. Not the native born people. You can't push that kind of behavior with them. They know their rights. You understand? So therefore, while they talk, and some will talk and say, oh, you know, Lord, they might come and this and that. The businesses in America and in the Western world want the labor from the Jamaica, from Africa, from all over the places. So they look the other way and employ the people to do the work. They pay them less, they don't give them no benefit, and it's quite buying with them. You understand?
Yeah.
Now, in Trump Hotel, one of these properties, Doral, it was discovered that there were people there who were not properly documented, who were working there. You understand? Because he's in the hospitality business, and you know they don't pay a lot of money in hospitality, right? And they're glad to get these people. These are the people who do the nanny work and the lawn and the roof and all of that stuff. So it's a windfall for America. Now, to buttress my argument, a senior senator in America from the state of New York, Chuck Schumer, he was on television in New York City. He said he was defending the influx of immigrants, bus and so on and plane taken to New York City. He said that the United States needs millions of workers. You hear what I said? This is a direct quote. And I can go look it up. He said This is a senior senator in the United States speaking for the Democratic Party and the government, that they need them. So, okay. So I'm saying all of this to say, what about Mr. Trump? Well, that whole thing was part of the political game. I am going to predict to you today that what is going to happen, there are many quote unquote criminal aliens. What am I talking about? I'm talking about immigrants who have come here, who have run and them get deportation order, and many of them go hide. You understand? They didn't leave. Many of them get voluntary thing to deport yourself. They didn't leave. They are here. Some of them still in doing all kind of stuff. Well, I am going to predict that people are going to be picked up and taken out. Right? I've seen it. It was done before in the previous Trump administration, in his first term. And you're going to have a lot of emphasis on those folks. But I'm going to predict that there is not going to be this, and going to be, because you have to send the message that, hey, don't be too comfortable. But I'm going to tell you that the imperative, Mosambong, in other words, for Jamaicans to understand what I'm saying, for businesses to have cheap labor to keep down the wages in the United States, especially since they are competing. They are now vicious competition with the Chinese. And not only the Chinese, but the Asian economies. You understand? So, therefore, I am predicting that after the dust settles, Trump is going to do, of course, he's going to seal the border because everybody was just kind of like flooding over. It was, the people were just streaming in. And you have to, I have a lot of sympathy for the people as a third world person myself. What's his name? Jimmy Cliff has a song, which if one day you find it, I would love to hear it if you got it, called Third World People. Remember, beautiful song. So those countries, particularly Venezuela, that has been on the most crippling, back-breaking, mash-up country sanction that the government of Jamaica signed into to help to mash up Venezuela. Yes, Andrews administration, especially when you consider that Venezuela was very, very good to Jamaicans, not only the Jamaicans, the Haitians, all the Caribbean countries, with literally giving us that oil called Petro-Carib program. And I want you to remember this, Dervan. That is because of Venezuela writing off half of Jamaica's debt. That's why we have breathing room for the former Minister of Finance, jumping and saying, oh, what a marvelous job he did. Is the Venezuelan, because if we had to pay back that money, all hell would be raining on Jamaica. So that program and that relationship that we had with our Caribbean neighbor, Venezuela, has helped Jamaica tremendously, the region. And in fact, Dervan, did you know that Hugo Chavez was giving free oil to people across the United States? There was the Petro-Carib program was also given to the United States. And what's his name? Kennedy, one of the Kennedy brothers, the grandson or whatever it is, one of the Kennedy family members was in charge of that program up to a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's how this is the kind of solidarity. And but you know how this whole politics with controlling resources. And our people have to know, all Jamaicans have to understand. We can't come with one like no Gladys. $5 million US a month, Dervan, is spent by Jamaicans trying to get a visa to go to the promised land. Were you aware of that, sir?
No, I knew that it was at one stage raking in as a U.S. embassy, raking in the amount of money that it brought in was
Yes.
It stood out.
And what I'm going to say to my people, Jamaicans, when I've got up different, when I get too phony, when I live too bad with one another down on the island, when I go like when I show up, when they're on a show up, parade on one another. What's wrong with them? When I see what the world around. When the things say them, everybody, listen, Jamaican people, you're not helping one another. The family dirty. Jamaican people. This is not a game. History continues. You understand? History is a continuum. The same kind of characters, the Rastafarian gentleman, which he gave a beautiful talk. And don't take what that man said lightly. Because the ancestors bring people like these, the meek of the earth, to talk, in a pompous state. I've never seen a country that turn its back on its history, turn its back on its ancestor, have mash up family thing. What is going to be the future of the generation in Jamaica? What kind of country is this? We don't realize that our best days are behind us. And we don't equip the youths them to fight. We have not equipped the youths to fight. We don't even teach the youths them any history. You understand? This is a competitive dog-eat-dog world. And we have to look out for our people. Anytime at Jamaican, let me tell you something, Dervan. This is my philosophy. I want to see a Jamaican anywhere. And I never pass a Jamaican. I see a Jamaican in the neighborhood. Right? Jamaican in the neighborhood passing me right at the gate. I'm not saying morning or nothing in a white man land. We not see I live in a white neighborhood. You don't understand who is your ally. You got to understand this thing from the African Americans. We have a lot of sellout people within our ranks, Dervan, all over the world. Remember I tell you about the leaders in Africa that sell out their people. And a lot of them afraid because they have been assassinated when they stand up to give their people something, to make the resources benefit them. We've seen that. We're looking at the slaughter in Sudan, Dervan.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, before the time runs out, Dervan, the government of Jamaica announced that they are going to be spending millions more US dollars to rebrand the image of Jamaica. Did you hear that news release? Sir?
When did that break?
Did you hear that news release, Dervan?
No.
You're with me, Dervan?
Yes. I'm saying
Hello?
no. I'm saying no. I didn't hear that. Hello?
Dervan.
Yes. Are you hearing me? Hello?
Dervan.
Yes, I'm here. Are you here?
Oh, you're hearing me. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm not. Hold on. It's probably it's my link. Yes. You heard of that? About the government rebranding the image of Jamaica?
Well, now that I'm thinking about it, Yes, I think I did hear something.
Yes, I saw the news release.
Mhm.
Now, can you imagine? This is how we are subsidizing tourist hotels that are essentially foreign owned, where them repatriate them profits back to them country. And we see very minuscule benefit to the economy of Jamaica. Now if you are saying they said that they're rebranding it, and I guess the rationale is that because of the crime reports that the American government has been putting out and the Canadian government warning about conditions in Jamaica with health care and crime. Now, hear this irony now. So we are going to pump millions more.
Hold a moment. Hold a moment, please.
Yes.
4:45. Join us every Sunday for Indian Talent on Parade with Dr. Winston Nolan from 5 to 6 p.m. Listen and learn all you need to know about the Indian community, culture, and music. That's Indian Talent on Parade with Dr. Winston Nolan, 5 to 6 p.m. every Sunday, right here on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
Thanks for staying with us here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. Thanks for holding the line, Ron. We're back with you.
Yes, so the government of Jamaica now is going to spend millions to rebrand the image of the island. And so they're going to spend that money now with advertising agencies in the United States to put it on the US media and Canadian media and whatever. So they are going to make more money off of this. Now tell me something. We know that a lot of these communities that are volatile in Jamaica, we can put it on a bulletin board where most of the crime, antisocial behavior coming from. So we know those areas. You would agree with that, Dervan?
Oh, yes.
Yes, so we know. And we know that in these communities, a lot of these communities are run down. They still have the people that live behind these wicked zinc, hot zinc. Have the people them like your kids, savages in these so-called volatile communities, right? We still have the same things. So you want to tell me that you can launch no kind of rehabilitation program in those communities?
Well, for what it's worth, there is some of that. Some of those fences have been removed.
Some of those fences, but we need to remove. Listen, this incremental thing. We have some resources, can do things to help our country, but we keep putting the resources. We either giving back these foreigners to come pimp the island. Look at all that colossal amount of money. You realize how much money the government borrow from World Bank, and we contributing to put in this nonsense thing about needs, which is really a biometric surveillance system. That's what it is, What is the benefit? Remember now, Dervan, that the same Jamaica government spent millions, I'm talking about US, to print the national ID, which was supposed to be the one that we use to vote. Did you remember that, sir?
Yeah.
You remember? And so the government now go put more debt on the people. No wickedness, this man. The government don't represent the Jamaican people. They must just tell us that they are a puppet of foreign. Look at Dervan. Look at how telecom, and I know I'm kind of jumping on these issues. Telecom sector Look how much of our people are technically advanced, been to school. We had one little Jamaican company that said that they wanted to start a little service down there. And we make the foreign government bully this our government down there and grab back the license from them. You remember that thing, Dervan?
Mm-hmm.
And now them bringing in Elon Musk now with Starlink to come dominate the whole island. What is this? Are we supposed to be just slaves and just run out of the country and go catching off for them place? And work for them and take care of them old people and take care of them babies and all of that for it. Jamaican black people, open your eyes. You cannot, in the face of what we are up against, and you're still out there kill one another and murder one another and mash up the community against one another, Jamaicans. Jamaicans only not listen, man. And you see you Jamaican parents who just lick up on a picnic, who not aggressively educating on the youth. And I go back again about the men, the boy children, who are not aggressively. Let me tell you, and I hope you guys and family who are listening, that your children have a library card. I want to take on a picnic about library at Saturday daytime. I want to tap on children. I want to go into the school at the parent teachers meeting. I want to showing up. I want to just wait till the picnic them get in trouble. Jamaican black people, we have to do better because we cannot just allow to watch 65,000 Jamaicans murdered on the little island. We're not shame. 65,000. You think that those were Chinese children or Syrian children? You think that they would allow that in Jamaica? And you see no cock up in Jamaica. All over the place. And I run down man, white man in a film country win election. I want to buy it out like when I have a big stake in it. I want to look at foolishness about Jamaican woman in a thing there. Jamaicans, stop it. We need to get wise. Listen, we're going to watch because as we are getting older and we're going closer to exiting, and our little youths them leaving down here, and we don't make no provision. The same conditions, we have a booking master, control everything. We have a prime minister, just totally, Andrew Owens, you're not looking good out there. You're not looking good out there. Mark Golden, we're not impressed with you. We're not impressed with you, Mark Golden. So if you're looking, you're just waiting, see, you just sit down by the door and wait for the default. And that other gentleman from Manchester, Peter Bunting, you're another joker. You had the security ministry and you couldn't do nothing with it as a black man. I don't even think you consider yourself a black man. How can you watch your people, all these young people? You don't see yourself in these young people. And watching you, them, come on. Peter Bunting, you need to sit down. Get out of the politics. You think you have birthright in this thing? I want to see the youths. I want to see the young people step up. What is happening at the university? What is happening at the University of the West Indies, Dervan?
That's a good
How
question.
do you seem so quiet up there? And what kind of youth we're producing? It's just self-aggrandizement. And you come out with a piece of paper and you feel all so flattered with yourself. Come on, young people. You're not have to be inspired. I know that a lot of the parents are not inspirational. A lot of these parents, they're just not. But we have, Dervan, we have made so much progress during the 70s in education, in access to education. We carry the education. Michael Manley expand the education. I see them rolling it back now. So it's only a selected few can go to the university down here. And then the foreigners take away the rest of our bright children. I want to celebrate and run, send them go foreign, go get indoctrinated. And then they never come back to the island. Because now you have them up there. I notice the Gleaner have this practice to be celebrating people building a foreign country. What is that? Why are you claiming everybody that came from Jamaica? And they don't want to be claimed. Dervan, did you see the new leader of the opposition in Britain? You know, leader of the Dervan.
Sorry, the quality of the call dropped a while ago.
Oh, okay. No, I was asking you, are you aware of the new opposition leader in the UK?
No.
Okay. She's of Nigerian heritage and a black woman. And she was born in Britain with Nigerian parents. And the Nigerian government then run to go claim her. So, you know, this is what our little idiot governments run to do, as the gentleman mentioned. And the woman snubbed them, the new opposition leader of Britain, of the Conservative Party. She snubbed them. And, you know, she's not really into Nigeria. And this is a woman who, by the way, a black woman, who should defend Britain's slavery past. Can you imagine that?
Defend
You heard what I just said?
I've never heard that before. Defend.
Yeah, she's making excuse for so you know you're not getting no reparations from her. And you know, she says a lot of controversial things. Nevertheless, she's the leader of the opposition in the UK. Why I'm mentioning all these things, we got to understand something. There was a scholar by the name of Neely Fuller. He said many years ago, he said there's going to be a time when they are going to be doing what you call racial showcasing. What does he mean by that? He means they'll be putting black faces. We'll put black faces in official position, in high places. So you see them and you say, boy, you know, see a black person, you know, it's nice that we have a black person. But then when you really check the politics, you realize that the person does not align with your values, and he is not there to represent you because he's a black face. So this is something that we have to teach our children about, because we have to have an understanding of how the world works. You understand? So just like how during the days on the plantation, you had a lot of black roast breadfruit, as they would say in Jamaica, who was serving the master and who would round you up, send you out to go, send them out to go catch you, bring you back on the plantation, or if you're planning to run, or you're planning.
Speaking of running, I'm gonna have to run.
Yes, I appreciate your indulgence and your audience. And again, I said to Jamaican people, take care of each other.
Thank you.
Look out for each other as black people. You have only your own people to depend on when the going gets rough. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. Take care. All the best.
All right.
Wonderful. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. All things being well, both sides of the story returns Monday afternoon, 2 to 5, unless, of course, you don't mind getting up at the same time in the morning. Uh, but thank you very much nonetheless, whichever way it turns out. And thank you for tuning in as well. And thank you very much, Adrian Reed. Thanks to all our viewers and listeners. And thank you, Akeelia Moore, and the other members of the team. All the best. Have a great weekend. Take care.
Our 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's News at 5.
Hi, Miss Parker.
Hello, hello.
All right.
You know, when they wanted us to do the national ID, I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't have a thing to hide. And you know, the opposition was against it.
Yes, I know.
And thought about this. But I didn't have a thing to hide. So they could have asked me any question.
Some people afraid of their shadow.
Eh?
Some people are afraid of their shadow.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes, well, some people talk.
Oh, I tell you.
Oh boy. Yes, my darling. Well, as always, ask the Lord to take you safely home
Thank you.
and ask Him to bless and teach you.
I appreciate that.
So, where's that? Saturday?
Yes.
Oh, so it's Saturday morning.
Yes.
6 to 9, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So always look forward.
Thank you.
All right, all the best now.
Same to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
To have the commissions investigating the board on the suspected operations, rejected as unlawful and unfair. Our judicial review allows the court to scrutinize processes used by a code of origin to make decisions. No one has supported the firm last week.
Justice Althea Garrett reserved her decision today after hearing submissions over the past 2 days from the attorneys for Prime Minister Holness. Mr. Holness applied to the Supreme Court on September 30 for several administrative orders, including the review. In the controversial 171-page report, the IC's Director of Investigation, Evan Stevenson, said he could not conclude on the question of illicit enrichment, highlighting unexplained financial discrepancies in the policy's 2021 income filings, and raised questions about tax compliance and transaction